to start with the foundations. Yeah, so this is beginners Pilates. We're going to start with the basics and we're going to build week on week. And each week we're going to focus on full body movement, on strengthening and stretching, on mobilizing, on engaging through your core and working from there out. But we're going to focus just slightly more each week on a certain topic. This week is breathing. And just a couple of things on that before we start moving. It's one of the most common things I hear in the studio that people are doing Pilates and they just feel like they're getting the breathing all wrong, or more often than not that they hold their breath and forget to breathe. And that is super common when we're trying really hard to concentrate on something. I always think if you watch toddlers coloring, you know how they stick out their tongue. I think as adults, we stop sticking out our tongue, but we hold our breath really tight. So we tend to hold our breath when we concentrate. The only way you can breathe poorly really is if you stop breathing. So as long as you're getting air in and air out, we're laughing. Okay, we're going to focus on the best way to align our rib cage and the best way to mobilize our rib cage to really, I suppose, harness the power of the breath and the efficiency of the breath. But as long as you keep pulling air in and sending air out, that's all you need. You will hear some teachers be really specific about what they want. So sometimes they'll say, I need you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And that's absolutely fine. A lot of the time, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose can actually be a little bit more effective. Traditionally, Pilates would have taught through the mouth, but breathing out through the nose can have a slightly more calming effect on the nervous system and can allow you to get a little bit more out of your core. So play around with it. Sometimes I'll suggest nose, sometimes I'll suggest mouth. The other thing I would say is if I say in a class, just in terms of breathing, and often I'll just remind you to breathe. But if I say inhale and you're exhaling, or if I say exhale and you inhale, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, you don't need to try and catch up with the breath. Just keep breathing, and eventually you'll get on a pattern. Okay, I got some lovely emails back from you already, so I have kind of a good idea of what we're working with. And then after this session this evening, I'll stay on for a sec. If any of you have any questions, you can ask me, or you can pop them in the chat box. Okay, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get started with some movement. Go ahead and come over onto your mat. I'm pulling a little bit closer. Perfect. So if you're not already there, come onto your mat. If you are there, go ahead and just sit into what we call a mermaid position. So that's one leg in front and one leg behind, sort of 90-90. Doesn't matter which leg is in front and which is behind. And if this position doesn't feel good to you, if this is challenging, you are so welcome to be seated with the legs crossed out in front, or even kneeling if that's better to you. Okay. Whatever leg is in front, we're going to take that same side hand to the floor. Your opposite hand is going to come behind your head, and then we're going to send one elbow towards the floor and the other elbow towards the ceiling. So we're going to lengthen up and we're going to release. So we're going to start by just mobilizing that rib cage sideways. Sometimes we put so much focus into the front and then even the back, we forget about the sides. So we're going to reach the elbow. Good, well done. And as you move, think about putting a little bit less effort into it. Can you make it feel as easy as possible? So one elbow to the floor, one elbow to the ceiling, yawn in the ribs. Good, we're going to do that one more time. Go ahead and reach, and just stay for a sec. Just breathe into this rib space. Breathing in. And then nice big out. Good. Fill the body with air. And then soften. Good. Go ahead then and come all the way up. That arm now is going to reach to the ceiling, and we're going to reach over. Aim for sort of where the wall meets the ceiling. So you're not trying to get all the way over. You're actually trying to get a little bit more diagonal reach. Good. Then go ahead. Take that hand to the floor and go to the opposite side. Now, if you've got any shoulder issues, go ahead and pop the hand behind your head, and it's going to take some of that pressure off. And we're going to reach to where the wall meets the ceiling, lift, and go to the other side where the wall meets the ceiling. Excellent. One more other side. Reach it up and over. Perfect. Last time. Reach it up and over. Excellent. And then go ahead and relax. Nice. Let's go ahead. Swap the legs over so that your opposite leg's going to be in front and your other leg behind. Good. Hand to the mat and hand behind your head. Good. And let's do the same thing. So we send elbow to floor and elbow to ceiling and then gently release it out. Good. Think about sliding that elbow up and around. Really good. Well done. Perfect. And again, let's do a few more. Yawning, opening the rib cage and gently lifting it up and out. Perfect. Last one. Reach it up. Good. Well done. And come back. And that arm reaches up. And then go ahead, reaching up and over to where the wall meets the ceiling. Lift it up. And then let's go to the other side. Little less space to go to the other side, yeah? Reach. And slide, softening the jaw as you move. Good, let's do one more other side. Reach it and return. Good, and reach it and relax. Excellent. Go ahead, spin around. You're going to come to lying down on your back. However you want to get there is absolutely fine. Perfect. Now, Pilates works a lot of pelvis movement, spine movement, and ribcage movements. We're going to start with the foundations of those. So we're lying down. Let's just get a sense of where your body is on the mat. Yeah, we've got arms heavy, head heavy, feet heavy, pelvis heavy. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, think air goes up. Body drops back, okay? Let that body just soften down into the mat. A couple of things to bear in mind here. Just keep gentle breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. That as we meet the mat or the floor, we're meeting a flat surface, but your body is a collection of curves, yeah? Very few of our bones, if any of our bones, are flat. And so we want to be able to yield. And if you're feeling any tension here, feel free to maybe pop a towel under your head or a pillow under your head to relax out some of that tension in the shoulders. And again, we're going to inhale. And exhale, let gravity drop you down into the mat. Now from here, let's press the feet into the floor and just notice what happens. And then relax it all the way out again. Press the feet into the floor and relax. And notice where the weight is in your foot. Is it equal to the front of the foot and the heel? Can we feel all of the toes? Do you feel more weight to the inside of the foot, the arch, or the outside of the foot, the baby toe side? And all of these questions are designed to just sort of guide what you're thinking about, yeah? Pilates is one of those ones that the more you concentrate, the more you focus, the more you're gonna get out of it, the deeper we're gonna work in that body. So we're pressing the floor away with the feet, and then you release. Good. Now, keep the feet on the floor, and we're gonna start to move the pelvis. So think about your tailbone at the very end of your spine. We're going to take the tailbone and lift it off the mat to the ceiling, but the rest of your pelvis stays down. And then we release the tailbone away towards the heels. So we're pelvic tilting, if you've seen this in a Pilates class before, where we're rolling the lower back into the mat and we're rolling the lower back away from the mat. Tailbone to ceiling, tailbone to heels. Now notice that we're going to allow the head to do the same thing. So tail to ceiling, chin to ceiling, tail to heels, chin to heels. So we roll forwards and backwards. So we're sort of rolling between the tailbone and the belly button here. And I want you now, as you move, to get as little muscle involved as possible. There is so much muscle involved in Pilates, yeah? We strengthen everything. But when it comes to moving, what we want to do is harness the power of your bones and of your skeleton so that we don't need to spend as much energy on our posture and on our alignment. Good, let's do that one more time. And then we're gonna relax. And then gently, we're going to add a little bit of work. So we're going to lift the tailbone to the ceiling. Your lower back drops into the mat. And we're going to lift the head off the mat. Oh, excuse me. To look down at your belly button. And then gently release the two of them away. Let's do that one more time. Tailbone to ceiling. Lift the head. Perfect. And then release it all the way down. Okay, perfect. From here, keep standing the feet into the mat. And let's bring the legs together. We're going to continue to move that pelvis. So we're going to steady the legs. Press your right foot gently into the floor. And we're going to let that left knee slowly roll away out to the side. Your inner thigh is lengthening to let the knee roll out. And then we roll it back in. You might feel a squeeze in the outside of your hip, or you might feel a stretch in the inner thigh. Whatever you're feeling here is absolutely fine. We're going to do a few more on that leg. Let that knee roll out to the side. The other leg is relatively still. Let's do it 2 more times. We reach it out and back. And once more, reach it away and back. Perfect. Let's go to the opposite leg. And what we really want to see, can we establish here with the foundations of Pilates and of movement, is can we have a really great foot and hip connection to allow us to work the core efficiently. There's no point in just training the core muscles if, when we take it into real life, walking and running and climbing stairs and doing all the things we do, if we can't integrate that movement. Okay, so we need a full, strong body from top to toe, not just that core. Although a strong core is the foundation of your Pilates. And then we're going to steady the legs. Let's take both legs out now, out to the side, stretching through that inner thigh and back. Let's just do 2 more. Reach it away and take it back. 1 more time. All right, and then steady. When you're ready now, stand the right foot into the mat again. And you're just going to slide the left leg away from your backside. So we slide the foot along the mat and then slide it back in. Make sure that you're up far enough on the mat that your foot doesn't get caught. And your sock might come off on this one. That's all right, just let it move. Slide it away. Think about your hamstring lengthening. So the back of the thigh really works here. And the bone, that thigh bone, is falling into that hamstring muscle. Let's do 1 more. Reach the leg away, really good. And then take it back. Now, that same leg, we're going to let the knee fall out to the side, just like we did a while ago. We're on the baby toe slide of the foot. Slide the leg long, and then take it back in. Knee opens out. Leg slides, turn and return. 2 more. Leg and slide, turn in and come back. Last one. Out and slide, take it in and come back. Now stand the left leg and we're going to slide the right leg away from you. If you're on opposite legs to me, that's absolutely fine. And as the leg slides away from you, just notice, can you maintain the pelvis where it is? So the leg is acting like a weight for your core here. And it's low level, it's low key here because the foot's connected to the floor, the leg's on the floor the whole time. So we don't have to manage the weight of the leg yet, but we will in a little while. So we're starting to layer that movement. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to let that knee fall out to the side, slide along the baby toe side of the foot, and then take it back. So we open, slide in and back. You can have your hands on your hips to just add a little bit of weight to that pelvis so it doesn't rock around the mat. Let's do 1 more. Perfect. And come all the way in. Really good. And nice and steady from here. Send your right foot through the floor and we're going to take that left leg up into tabletop, sort of 90 degrees, yeah? And then we're going to replace the foot to the floor. Same leg, right foot stands, left leg lifts. And tap, and lift, And then we're going to place the whole foot down, and then the foot springs up. Good. What's happening here is your thigh bone, your femur is rolling in your pelvic half. And we want to allow that thigh bone to move without the whole pelvis moving with you. So can we steady the pelvis? Can we drop the pelvis back and just move the leg? So that one more time. Let's stay. Right leg now. So left foot stands, right leg lifts and lowers. Excellent. Really good. Perfect. And roll. And again, if you are, if you're training already, if you're strong, this exercise mightn't feel like a lot of a challenge. But I want you to think, sort of twist your focus a little bit. We want to work on the foundations of really excellent movement here. And it doesn't always have to do with strength. We can be super strong, but maybe not have great movement patterns. Yeah, they might be really efficient, and maybe we get caught in certain kinds of movements. So just focus on the quality of the movement. Okay, let's do one more. And replace. You take your time. We're going to take one leg up into the air, and the second leg comes with it. Nice. Now just play around. We're going to let the knees come in towards you a little bit and then away from you a little bit. Take your hands right up onto your tummy and just notice what happens. When your legs move away from you, you might feel that abdominal wall, that tummy muscle push up into your hands. And you might also feel your hip flexors, the muscles on the front of your hips and thighs, start to work a little bit. I want you to find a place for your legs where your hips aren't screaming at you, number one. You can feel the weight of the thigh bone dropping down into the mat, and it's kind of minimal effort to hold it there. Your back is dropping into the mat. There's no arch here. You don't need to push your back down, but you've just allowed your pelvis to feel really heavy. Now we're going to go back to that foot placing on the floor. So you can have your hands by your sides or on your tummy. We're going to take right foot to the floor and lift the leg back up. Left foot to the floor and back up. Now your foot doesn't have to hit the floor if that's too much of a challenge today. What I want you to think about as you move is keeping your torso steady on the mat. So all that moves here really is that thigh bone in the pelvic socket, in that pelvic half, in your hip. So we're maintaining that core connection between the pelvis and the rib cage. Good. This might start to feel like a few extra reps here. This is where we start to build that strength. Again, drop your brain down into your body. See, can you just focus for the next few minutes on this movement? Last one. And stay. Hug the knees to your chest. Give yourself a little breath. And relax. And then we're going to allow the legs to come back up into that tabletop position. We're going to send the right foot to the floor. And then as your right leg comes up, your left leg comes up. And swap. And swap. So we're starting to challenge that stability now just a little bit. Now I would encourage you to go as slowly as you want, okay? Sometimes the more slowly you move, the more of a challenge it's going to feel. And you're working to where you can today. Good. Last two. Last one. Go ahead. Keep one foot on the floor. Pop your opposite foot down next to it. Amazing. Good. Arms to the floor now. We're going to pull those heels a little closer to your backside, and let's do a little bit of work on a bridge. Back to that little pelvic tilt. I want you to just lift your tail off the mat, nothing else. Then press your feet through the floor and lift the rest of your pelvis. Your pelvis lifts, and it's going to take your spine with it. Good, well done. Nice and gentle now, we're going to start to drop the chest bone into the mat, and the rest of the body follows. Good. Let's press the feet through the floor, a little roll. And we're going to lift. Now, as you come up, I want you to think about reaching your knees over your toes. Your body's going to want to tip back into your shoulders and into your head. Let's not do that. I want you to work the backs of your legs here. and then drop the chest bone down, folding into the hip. So after working those hip flexors, now we're stretching them. Yes, we're working the back body, we're lifting up, and then come back down. A common sort of faulty pattern we see with this exercise is pushing the arms into the mat and trying to lift your ribs up really high. You know, we don't need those ribs to be high at all. Actually, what we want is your chest bone, your breastbone to soften down, and that we just open really at the hips. So as your tailbone lifts, the tip of your sternum, the tip of your breastbone softens down towards your belly button. And release. And your arms are heavy, but not pushing. Good. And we're going to stay up on this next one. Good. Now take your time. We're going to take the pelvis down halfway towards the mat. Push the feet through the floor to lift your backside back up. Take the pelvis down towards the mat, then push the feet through the floor, reach the knees forward, really fire into the backs of your legs here. So it's a lot of hamstring muscle, a lot of back of your thigh, and a lot of your glutes. Try, if you can, to use your feet to really press and reaching the knees to press instead of just squeezing your feet, yeah? Good, yeah, that's it. Nice, guys. One more. Press it up. And then when you're ready, let it come all the way back down. Perfect, okay? When you're ready, let's roll the pelvis again. Lift the tailbone. Lift the hips off the mat. And we're just going to stay. We're going to maybe have the pelvis a good fist distance off the mat, okay? Imagine that your back pockets are filled with sand. And we're going to let the left back pocket drop towards the mat. And then lift it back up, we balance the pelvis. Now let your right back pocket drop towards the mat. Lift it up and balance the pelvis. Good, again. Back pocket drops. We're getting a little bit of rotation there. And press it up, other side. Down. And press it up, reaching the knees. Last two. Down. And reach it up. Good. Last one. Let it come down. And reach it up and stay. And then let everything come all the way back down. Really good. Staying here now. We're going to interlace the hands and pop the hands behind your head. Now you might have been told a lot to keep your elbows really wide, and I'm going to tell you to do the opposite. Pick your elbows off the mat, and I want you to really easily be able to see them in your peripheral vision, okay? And if you were going to curl yourself all the way up into a ball, your elbows would just graze the outside bump of your ankle towards your baby toe, okay? I want you to gently lengthen the back of the neck. Make the back of your neck longer and allow your lower back to drop into the mat. And then look at the chin up to the ceiling and your lower back's going to release. Lengthen the back of the neck so chin gently drops, lower back drops into the mat and release. You can use your hands here to gently give yourself a little bit of traction on the back of your neck. And release. Now from here, little bit of lengthening in the back of the neck, lower back drops into the mat gently. Yeah, you don't need to push it. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the head and the chest off the mat. Stay there for a sec, and then let yourself carry your head all the way back down with your hands. Nice. Let's do that again. The back of your neck gets long. We lift the head and the chest, elbows wrapping around, carrying your head, and then releasing it back down. And we really interlace those fingers, making a hammock for the back of your head behind you, yeah? One more here. And releasing it back down. Now, if that felt enough, stick with that exercise, okay? But if that felt okay to you, go ahead and take those legs up to 90-90. We're going to add on. Same thing. This time I want you to inhale. As you exhale, long back of the neck. Keep exhaling as you lift the chest. Use that exhale to push all the air out of your belly. And then release it back down. Carry the head. One more, lengthen the back of the neck. Carry it up. And then release it back down and return. Let's add on, okay? But you are so welcome to just keep lifting and lowering if that feels better to you. We're gonna lift the chest up and think chest to ceiling, okay? Now from here, hands come behind your thighs, good. You're gonna push your thigh muscles into your hands, lift your chest a little more, stay here. Hands behind your head, don't drop back, and release it. It starts to get a bit more exciting in that core here, okay? Carry the back of the head, elbows reaching towards your baby toes. Hands behind your thighs. Push into the thighs. Lift until your shoulder blades are just a little higher. Nice. Hands behind the head. And carry it back down. Let's add a breath. Inhale. Exhale. We drop these bottom ribs down. Hands behind your thighs. Inhale and exhale to lift up. Good. Stay here. Inhale. Hands behind the head. Exhale. We carry back down. Let's do that one more time. Lift the chest. Hands behind the thighs. Lift the chest bone a little more, elbows wide. Stay up there. Hands behind the head. And carry yourself back down. Excellent work, guys. Well done. Knees to chest. Little rock. Good. From there, let's go ahead. Take both hands wide. Legs 90-90, but relax. Actually, just sort of let the calves drop onto your hamstrings. We're going to reach both knees over towards one hand. They don't need to touch the hand. They don't need to touch the floor. And back to center. Other side. Reach it over. And back to center. Okay. From here, hands behind your thighs like you had them a second ago. We're going to do a modified roll-up, okay? And I want you to think of this as a breathing exercise to come up. We're going to aim your feet towards the floor, like you were wearing iron boots, okay? And your goal is to get your feet to the floor. When you're ready, elbows sort of reach wide. We're going to knock the chin to the chest, lift the chest, and feet come to the floor to roll you up to seated. And then we're going to do the same thing to come back down. Again. We press the feet into the floor, press those thigh muscles into your hands. That's it. Good. Excellent rolling. Good. And then we come back down. We want to use as little momentum as possible here, but we also don't want a big squeeze in those core muscles. We want to let everything soften. We want to find the movement. And then we can add on layers of challenge to strengthen those muscles from there. As you come down, feet slide, we come back. Let's do that one more time. Press to lift. And then once you're up on this next one, go ahead and stay there. Excellent. Good. Go ahead and come through. And we're going to come to lying on the mat on your tummy. Perfect. Well done. Take your hands and let's stack them. So we're going to go palm to mat and then palm to the back of your other hand. And let your head come right down onto your hands. And again, let your body drop into the mat. We're going to take this really small, okay? So we're going to gently press your forearms down into the mat. And your head is going to hover off your hands maybe an inch, no more. And then relax it back down. We gently press the forearms, lift the head to a hover, and release it back down. As you're here, can you feel length in your neck? Like the crown of your head is shining forward, opening out. And those ribs are going to stay down on the mat, yeah? Last one. And return. Now when you're ready, let's go slightly higher. Gently press the hands into the mat. Gently lift the chest bone just enough. And just see how you feel. Now, release your glute muscles. Try not to squeeze your backside. And instead of thinking up, think forwards. Can I shine forwards? And then I release back down. One more. Gentle press of the arms into the mat. Shining that chest bone forwards. Good. That's it. And then releasing it down. All right. When you're ready, your head and your hands are stuck to each other now. I want you, instead of pushing down this time, I want you to imagine your elbows are growing wide, east and west. And we gently use that widening of the elbow to carry your head an inch or so off the mat, head stuck to hands, hands stuck to head, and then release it back down. Feel long through your legs. Let's do that one more time. Gently lifting up and returning back down. From here, take your hands all the way back behind you by your sides, and your palms are going to face up. Excellent, well done. You're going to have your nose just touching the mat, and then when you're ready, hover your nose a millimeter off the mat and release. Hover and release. So this is strengthening the back of your neck. One more. Hover and just stay. Now your shoulders are rolled all the way forwards, and we're going to reverse that. So we're going to gently start to turn the palms towards your hips. So palms are facing your thighs, thumbs down, baby fingers up. And then we're going to release it back. Palms to ceiling, shoulders roll forwards. If you want to drop your head for this, you can, yeah? We're going to roll the shoulders back by turning the palms towards each other. Roll the shoulders forwards by turning the palms to the ceiling and dropping the arms. One more. Roll the shoulders and unwind them. Let's add on. We're going to roll the shoulders, palms facing towards your thighs. I'm going to reach my fingers towards my ankles, and that's going to allow my chest to shine just a little bit forwards. My bottom ribs are still super heavy on the mat. And then I return down. All you got to do is keep breathing. Good. I roll my shoulders, turn my palms, reach my fingers, and allow my chest to shine forwards, not up. And then I release, send my palms to the ceiling, and my body comes down. Good. So it's slow. Let's do that 2 more times. Turn and reach and release it back down. One more. Turn and reach. Now we're going to stay here. We're going to turn the palms to the ceiling, and I want you to press your arms up, up, up. Excellent. Now you inhale. Inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, 4, 4. Good, 3, 3, and 2. Good, last 2, 2. Keep lifting that chest. Last time. Stay here. Release it all the way back down. And now take your hands under your shoulders. Similar thing, but different, okay? Same mobilization of that spine and that ribcage. So, hands are right under your shoulders, maybe fingertips in line with those shoulders. And your shoulders are going to be rolled all the way forwards, and your elbows are pointing up to the ceiling. This is start of swan. So we're going to start to send the elbows back towards the mat, nice and slow. That's going to roll your shoulders back and open the front of your chest. And then we reverse it, elbows up, shoulders forward. Elbows back, shoulders open. Elbows up, shoulders roll forward. One more. Elbows back, shoulders roll open. And as you do that, can you gently press the mat forwards and then release it? Good. Now we're going to roll the elbows back and gently start to send that forearm towards the mat. So you lift your chest just a little bit more. Lower ribs are going to stay super heavy. And we look sort of out towards the edge of the mat. And return it back down. Elbows start to reach back and down. Shoulders roll. Gently slide the mat and lift those lower ribs. Stay down. And your legs are reaching so long behind you. One more time. Heavy front of pelvis. Elbows roll, shoulders roll, and we're coming forwards instead of upwards, yeah? That's it, to maintain length. And release it down. Nice, good. Take your hands under your head. Your last little bit of work lying here today. We're gonna take one leg, and I want you to imagine your legs are connected right up either side of your belly button. So you're getting long in the front of your body, all right? We're gonna reach so long through those right toes, and gently just float that right leg off the mat. As your right leg lifts, your left leg drops down, and then we're gonna return the right leg down. Another leg reaches long, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel those toes really lengthen out behind you. Feel that backside engaged, not squeezing, but just to lift the leg. And return. Good, opposite leg. As one leg floats, the other leg feels just the tiniest little bit heavier on the mat. And return. Reach and return. And instead of thinking height, or lifting that leg high, can you just think about opening the leg in the front of the hip, creating space, and really getting that leg long? Can you almost reach beyond the edge of the mat? Good, let's do that one more time on either side. Reach it long, excellent. And then other side, reach it long, super. And return. Let's take those hands onto the shoulders. Press yourself back into your hips and just drop the chest into that recovery. That's it, into that child's pose. Nice. From here, go ahead and we're going to take it onto all fours. Let's just release out that back a little bit. So we're going to press the hands through the floor, round the back and tuck the tail. And then tailbone, seat bones behind you. Reverse the stretch. Stretch out the front of you without squeezing those shoulder blades together. Yes, can we keep pushing the mat away? And then push the mat away to round the spine. And reverse it the other way. Excellent, good. One more time. Rounding, 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 rounding. And releasing it away. Cool, good. Find wherever your center is, okay, wherever that neutral is. Think about lifting those wrist bones out of those wrists. So we're not pushing down, yeah, we're pulling up. We're gonna round the spine, tuck the tail, let your head just drop on your spine. Tuck your tail a little bit more. Feel like those lower ribs are hugging your spine. We're gonna send your hips forwards of your knees and then gently back. Keep the round and gently send the hips forwards of the knees and back. So we slide forwards with those hips, with that rounded spine. You should really feel that core, those abdominal muscles, those oblique muscles light up. One more, we're gonna stay here. Now you're gonna breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and you're gonna deepen the round. You're gonna send that breastbone right up to the ceiling. You're gonna tuck your tail, and you're staying with me. We breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more in, 3, 4, out, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Good. Sit back into those heels however you can, just to shake out those wrists. Just give them a little twist. Good. In the other direction and shake them out. Excellent. Well done. Nice. When you're ready, let's go ahead. Take those hands to the mat one more time. Perfect. We're nearly there on this all four sequence. Yeah, we're going to have a little round in the spine. And then instead of coming forwards with the hips this time, we're going to sit slightly back with those hips. Tuck those toes under, you're strong. Now I want you to send the mat forwards with your hands and then just hover your knees. You hover for 1 second or 10 seconds, whatever you can, and release it down. Good, we're not gonna stay there that long. Let's do 2 more, gentle round, hover the knees, you're breathing. And down, pull those ribs up. That's it, let's do that one more time, yes? round. Good, good, good. Now when you're ready, slide your left leg out the whole length of the mat until it is straight. Good. Stay with me. Send your right leg out to meet that left leg. Stay here. Push the floor away a little more. Reach back with your heels and put your head on your spine. You don't need to see what's happening in your toes. Yes, better. Super good. 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, we're going to gently bend the knees, sit back into the heels, and drop into that rest. Excellent. Long reach, long breath, long stretch. Good. Straighten the mat. And then when you're ready, go ahead and roll yourself up. Amazing. And let's come to lying on your side. We're going to start with bent knees. Perfect. Drop your head down into your hand. We're just going to open up that rib cage. So let's send one arm out in front of you. Perfect. And when you're ready, I want you to slide the arm back towards you, and then onto the mat, slide it across your chest and open it out behind you. Bend the elbow, slide the arm back across your chest and reach it to me. Good, let's do that one more time. Slide the arm back onto the mat, across your torso, elbow down behind you and open it. And then bend it and release it away. Good, we're gonna stay down here. Let's straighten the legs all the way away from you, yeah? We're gonna reach out through your heels. Good. And for me, I prefer to have my head lifted and my head supported on my hands. If that doesn't feel good to you, you stay lying down on your upper arm, okay? Keep reaching out top hand for support. We're gonna let the bottom leg fall through the mat as your top leg lifts. Now that leg's only coming up as high as you can. Keep the toes pointing forward. Don't let them turn to the ceiling, because I want you to feel the outside of your hip. And then lower back down. We're just gonna go 4 and excellent. 3, beautiful guys, well done. That's it, last 2, reach. Perfect, good. Last one, up. And then we're gonna take the leg halfway, so it's right out in line with the hip. Reach the heel a little longer away from you and here. Last 2 and 1. Reverse the circle. 8 and 7. Good. And 6 and 5. Circle. 4. Then 3. Then 2. Then 1. Go ahead and lower the leg. Perfect. Take your time. Come up. And let's go ahead and go to that second side. Perfect. We're going to bend the knees to start. Reaching that arm out in front of you. Excellent. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to slide back. Slide the arm across the torso, elbow down and open out. And then bend the arm, slide it and come all the way back. Let's do that 2 more times. Slide and open, bend and back. Last one, slide and open, bend to return. Excellent, good. Straighten out the legs and you choose whether you want to be up on your hand or down on your arms. Absolutely up to you. Good. We're going to reach the top leg a little longer than the bottom leg. Bottom leg falls through the floor, top leg lifts, toes stay pointed way forwards. And down. Good. Wheel. Good. Reach. That's it. Let's do that 2 more times. Good. Excellent. Last one. Perfect. And when you're ready, take it up just to hip height. Reach it longer, circling forward for 8. 7, and that can be a bigger circle or a smaller circle, absolutely up to you, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, for 4. That's it. 3, and 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower the leg. Perfect. And press yourself all the way up to seated. Good. All right. Finding yourself sitting on both seat bones equally. Amazing. Good. Sitting tall without lifting the ribs. I want you to take your hands onto your lower ribs. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, I want you to feel these front ribs dropping down and the back of you getting longer. Again, inhale. Front ribs dropping down, back of you getting longer. We reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Let's try that one more time. And release it away. Perfect. Very nicely done. You guys, thank you so much. That is you right at the end of your week 1, session 1. If you have any questions, as I say, you can stay on now and shout now. You can either ask me or type it in the chat box, or you can send them to me via email. This session will be available in the Mind Body video library for you to catch up on if you want to do it again. And Thursday's session will build on today's session. So you've started with the foundations, and we'll start to add in extra little bits that are absolutely, definitely available to all of you. You are all well able. But as I say, any questions, shout away.